Good afternoon, Habitat Women viewers. Guess what we're going to do tonight? We're going to take these little ordinary wood brackets and make them into our little extraordinary brackets. Now normally you can find these at a wood shop or any thrift finds. So we'll just take it and make it our own. And then I will sell them on my Habitat Woman eBay. Now let's go inside and create. Alright, so with our nice little shelf brackets that we've got all routed out, looks nice, beautiful. What we're going to do now is take our measuring ruler. I've made lines on it to where I want the holes to be. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 2 sets of dots at each line, just like this there, about 1/4 inch apart. And remember, this is handmade, but we still want to be as precise as we can be. See how that looks nice and pretty? And you'll notice that on the other side it has already been done. Now what we're going to do is we're going to get our drill out and drill our drill holes straight down through so that we can prepare and get ready for our next part. Now, what size drill size am I going to use? Let's see. Since I want to use copper, this line here, what I'm going to get is something very similar to the size of it, so it's not real loose. See how that looks very good and matches up, about the same size? That's what we want. Just a tad bit bigger, but not too. Now what we're going to do is, those marks that we made, we're just going to drill down nice and easy, straight down, nice and easy. Again, let's go ahead and drill out the rest of the spots. Now if you'll notice, I've already put 2 little dots on the front of this too, and we will drill in a hole nice and right for those. Safety first, so be very careful. Make sure you're dead on. Kind of start at a little bit of an angle first to get it started, then straighten it out so you can go straight down. We're going to take it down about 1 inch. Go down a little bit further because that was only like a 3/4. There, that's much better. Now the other side. Start off a little angle, then go straight in. Very good. Excellent. So now we have all the holes straight through. We have the holes in the front. Now I need to put a hole in the back and a hole in this back side. It's so that when we go all the way through, we can hide that piece of copper in the back. So, where do we want our mark? That is a very good question. Well, see how we put the front here? Let's try to keep the back the same 1/4 inch pattern. 1/4 inch from the top, 1/4 inch from the side, in the same pattern on both sides. Once you take care of that, go ahead and drill your pilot hole at an angle. It's okay. Drills only work certain ways. We'll take that and do it all. Whoa. Now, that's okay. If it goes off pattern a little bit, we'll set it down nice and straight. Then what we'll do is we'll start the hole nice and easy. There we go. Get it started. Bring it on through. There. You can tell we went all the way through. No problem. That's what we wanted. Other side, let's do the same thing. We'll start it at the base. Pick it up. Take it all the way through. And remember, wear your safety glasses just in case anything flies out or in case you break your bit. Okay, we got our 2 pieces. Now, I like when things are unique. So, I'm thinking of maybe putting an interesting little flower type part right there on both sides with copper. So we'll stick the copper all the way through, twist the little piece off one way, twist the piece off the other way, and lay it down. Alright, so we're going to make our little pattern first on this piece of wood. Then we'll just drill it through, mark our other pieces of wood, and drill those through. Nice, easy peasy, so we don't have to measure every little part. You can make your flowers as symmetrical as you want or as uneven as you want. I particularly like to do it just about even on both sides. So we'll do 3/4 this way, 3/4 the other way, and then I'll change it around again, and let's do that again. 3/4 this way, 3/4 the other way. Alright, so that's unique, but let's add one more little set. Let's see, 3/4 this way, 3/4 that way. Alright, so this is what we end up with. Not bad. I do particularly like it. So now we'll do 2 at one time. Put it nice and tight in your put it nice and tight in the book shelf bracket. There we go. Put it nice and tight in your shelf bracket. Go ahead and drill it in. There's one. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. And 7. Beautiful. Now we have it right on our piece of wood like what we want. Now we'll take our next piece, set it right up, and do it again. Whoa. There we go, nice and easy. There we go. There we go. Excellent. Alright, I just got them started. Now we'll finish them out. Don't forget about your safety glasses. Nice and easy. be nice all the way through. Beautiful. All right. Now, because we know we're going to use the copper in here, and we know we're going to use the copper in the front, what we need to do now is take our little sanding paper, sand it down a little bit. Okay, now it's time to do a little bit of sanding. However, I did have to go back down, clean out this hole just a little bit, and before we move forward, we need to make sure that the copper is going to fit. So we will take the copper, put it in. Oh, beautiful. Goes all the way through just like what we want. Not too loose either. So, again, you just want to make sure that all your holes are nice and smooth all the way through. Oh yeah, easy peasy. We don't want any trouble with our copper. Remember, safety first, be careful. Alright, now we're going to sand these bad boys out. I like using 120. The grit will tell you. You can use a knife to cut it or a pair of scissors. Just be careful, safety first. Come on down. There we go. You're going to want a piece of 120. And we have here a piece of 180, which is a little bit more fine, and 220. So we'll do another piece of 180 here. Again, safety first, be careful. Don't forget your piece of 220 because we have to go from the large all the way down, go from the small all the way up to the large to be fine. Easy peasy, nice and simple. All right, here we go. We'll start with the 120. And remember, when you're sanding, sand with the grain. That way, it'll look nice and done. And all we want to do is get all the blemishes off, kind of bring out that color. Get any pencil marks that you may have marked on it off. Make sure those holes are nice and clean. Okay. Now, if you want to take your sharp edges that you've made and kind of dull those out a little bit, all you have to do is take your sandpaper, start at one end, kind of go down, nice and easy. And then when you go back across, it'll be nice and dull. Make sure you do that on every edge to keep it consistent. And again, just what you did on the rest. Finish doing it all the way through. And if you overdo a little bit, it's okay. Sometimes I forget where I am too. You want to get any of those little hangers, see those little pieces of wood that were hanging up? We want those off. Definitely don't want that to be shown. Okay, once you got all that done, make sure you do the front side of your marks too. Make sure there's no dirt showing. Do it evenly all the way through. Make it look nice and pretty. wood that we're hanging on there off. Making sure there's no real sharp pieces anywhere because we don't want splinters. And when our work is done, we want it to look beautiful. Oh, don't forget those pieces there. Remember, try to follow the grain. Because if you went across the grain, then we'd see little etch marks in it. And that's what we're trying to avoid. Now, if you see any indentations in your wood, again, just take your sanding paper and try to sand those out. And I like using my hands. Handwork projects is very, very nice. So we've used the 120. Now we're going to go to the 180. Here we go. Beautiful. Very nice. Nice. See how the grit's getting finer and finer, so we're creating more and more sawdust, but of course fine sawdust. All right, now our piece of 220. Let's finish it out. Sticking off the wall. Okay, have those pieces done. Okay, let's go ahead and wipe these down. Get all that extra sanding dust off of them. I like to use a cloth that doesn't leave like all those little white spurs on it. So just whatever you deem to be a little wipe down cloth or rag. As long as you don't leave any fibers behind, it should be fine. Okay, so the thick wire did not work. What we're going to do is we're going to use a thinner wire. We'll use a thicker wire down for the flower. So we get a piece of wire. This one here happens to be sheathed in white. What I'll do is I'll take a little bit of the sheathing off, just like this. See how I'm cutting away from myself? Okay, so the way I use it is I use my knife here. Be careful you don't cut yourself against the wire, and I just hold it against, and then I'll just bring the wire down. And like I said, be careful you don't cut yourself. And then by using it this way, it unsheathes this wire pretty easy, pretty quick. Okay, be careful of your blade. When you do it this way, all you have to do is unsheath the wire, and then you're ready to go. So now that we have a nice thin wire to use, what we'll do is we'll start at the top, Put it in where you need it. Bring your wire around. Bring it through. When you bring it through, the other side will look, here we go, a little bubbly like this. What we're going to do is we're going to flatten it down with our fingers, make it nice and tight. Alright, now that you've done one side, just work your way through to the other. Remember not to twist your wires up. There we go. Didn't seem to have, there we go. Bring it out. Make it nice and tight. There we go. Next one down, as tight as you can. Remember, this is handmade, so it's going to look unique, which is what we want. Alright, bring it through. Nice and tight. Remember your other side, so you probably have to pull it a little bit from the other side. You can get a pair of clines if you'd like, but it kind of gives it little edges if you do that. Push in one side, pull in the other. Okay, not quite. I'm gonna use my little hammer there. There we go. Nice and like I want it. Now, push it through the other side. Just like so. Keep it nice and tight. Nice and tight where you want it. Make sure the pattern is what you want too, because not everything will be perfect for you, so you'll have to work on it. Alright, if you like the pattern, great. If not, well, then we'll change it. Now, through the back, you'll take this part here and put it up through the back. Okay, whoops, there we go. And again, you can use your clines. It's a heck of a lot easier to pull wire with the clines. Yes, keep it nice and tight. Okay, that's what this side looked like when we were done. Oh, that is beautiful. Alright, that's where we want it. What we'll do is we'll just bend it down a little bit, and then we will cut off the piece because it is done where we want. Again, leave about 1/4 of an inch on there so that we can come back and drill a little hole. And then pat it down to make sure that it's not going to go anywhere. Alright, now, time for the other side. We're going to start this one right in here. Push it all the way down, as far as it'll go. There we go. Careful you don't stab yourself. We'll keep it nice and simple and keep it working. Careful you don't hook your wires in your fingers either, because that would really hurt. Remember, safety first. Alright, almost tight enough. There we go, nice and tight. And remember, if you want it tighter, just take your hammer and give it a little low. forward. Beautiful. See what it looks like? Nice and beautiful. And then we will go in for the finish here, at least for this little task. Copper is fun to work. Alright, let's see what it looks like. Oh, beautiful. Check that out. Nice. Interesting. Okay. Now again, we'll cut it off. Little 1/4 of an inch back here. And then for now, just beat it down. Whoops. No. If that happens, just take your clients, pull it out, and then come down. There we go. Haha. Alright, so now we have our front pieces done so far. Now we're going to do the flowers. Interesting enough, what we'll do is we will use the bigger piece this time. We're going to do the center first. Bring it around. Alright. Alright, so here's our centerpiece. Now, what should it look like? You know what? I think if we give it a little bit of a spin, let's say like this, now we can get our needle nose pliers, which are these ones here, nice needle nose, and open it up, of course. Here we go. And what we'll do is we'll finish spinning that around like so. Alright, now once we have that spun, what we'll do now is we'll give it just a little bit more. There we go. Just like that, so. And what we'll do is we'll put it in a nice spot that we like it in. There we go. How does that look? Nice and center, huh? Alright. So, what we did there, we need to cut off on the other side and try to work the same magic. Beautiful. Okay. Now, we'll give it the spin. Oh, here we go. Give it a little spin. Spin it. There we go. Kind of unique, a little different on both sides. This one has just a wee bit more into it. I don't know if I want it like this or like that. Let's see. What if we open this up just a tad? No, I like it closed. Okay, and this one here. Interesting. Let's see. Do we want it to be perfect or do we want it to look different? I think different will be fine. Alright, here's some more. Now, for these ones, I recommend the same size all the way through. But in order to do that, we'll push it through, see what it looks like. So we can do the same unique pattern on both sides. Now, do we want to do little spins like that, or do we want to spin it and push it off? You know what? We'll leave enough on there to spin and push both of them off. Alright, so we'll cut same amount on both sides. Okay. See how that looks? Nice and pretty. Now, we go. Just like that there. Huh, that's interesting. Let's do that to the other side and make it kind of curve around the same way. There we go. Oh, what do you know? It's kind of interesting. See how it just dangles there? Alright, well let's continue to do that all the way around and see what we get. Now it's time to stain and polyurethane them. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this mid wax here. It's called Colonial Maple. It even has a 223. So I've had this probably for a very long time. We're just going to swish it up just a little bit. Let me put on my gloves. Let me get my staining brush, and then we'll get to town. One moment. All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and get this stained in polyurethane, and then we'll let it dry, give it a quick sanding, and we'll be done. Okay, make sure you use just a little bit of stain, and we're going to start up in the corners first. Anywhere that's hard to reach, that will be our first chore. So these don't look too bad. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to show you how to kind of shine them up a little bit. If you take your knife or a little, there you go, little knife, and you make little marks on the copper itself, you can make little slits in it and it'll start shining. Like it just starts showing you little cut pieces in it. Alright, y'all, here's one done. I have to show you. See how it glistens and shines? Especially wherever it was chipped out. That's what we want. Okay, so both of them are done the way I'd like them done. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to take them, now that they've got all the nice little grooves in them and they shine, I'm going to take this and polyurethane it, and then this project will be done. And because this is my work, I will go ahead and initial the inside, B, L, F. Alright, we're going to start polyurethaning, and what we want to do is definitely follow the grain. We want to urethane with the grain. So, which way is the grain flowing? That's the way we want to polyurethane. Watch your bubbles. We just want to give it a nice glistening coat. That's our main goal, just to make it shine. They look gorgeous. And once I get done, I'll show them in the light and you'll see how they glisten. And then again, I will sell them on my eBay page, Habitat Woman. Here's what they look like, beautifully done. Look how they shine. Recording. Hello, Habitat Women viewers. Guess what we're going to be doing today? Well, I should say this evening. Check out these. Just old, ordinary wood shelving. What we're going to do is make this our own little extraordinary treats. I don't think that worked. That doesn't work. That didn't work either. Alright, so we're going to be taking ordinary little brackets that we can find basically at any wood shop or garage sale if we get lucky, and we're going to make them into our little pieces of extraordinary treats.